So at this point I then, like I say, decided to call time on the Bradgate unit and to attempt to explore my options under patient choice. I looked on the internet and had heard about this thing called patient choice, which in theory seems to be quite a nice thing and quite a wonderful thing. If, for example, the service is struggling in your own area, or with waiting times or whatever, or for example a better service can be offered in another trust, then allegedly you have a right under patient choice to go, you can go back to your GP and say, can I be referred elsewhere, please? And that seems to be the idea of patient choice, which is a nice thing to see. However, in reality and in practice, it's completely and utterly different. What I found about patient choice, despite the fact that there is quite a bit of information on the internet about it, you ask normal people within the NHS about it, even including your own GP, and they have very, very limited information about it. They don't know anything about it, and if you research it, generally speaking, I've found in my experience, you end up as a patient knowing more about it than the staff do. The other problem is that you can only allegedly, or you're only eligible under patient choice if, for example, you have not already commenced treatment. Well, if for example, if you refer to a part of your own trust that the experience doesn't work for you, for whatever reason that may be, or it's not an up to scratch service or whatever, that then bars you, because you've already commenced the service, that then bars you from exploring your options under patient choice. Well, how do you know that you're going to experience a bad service? Or how do you know it's going to be a poor service before you actually experience it yourself? So that does seem a little bit of a nonsense as well. But with the patient choice, I actually went, well, initially I actually asked the Bradgate unit and said I'd like to explore my options under patient choice because the service that you're currently offering is unacceptable and non-existent as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to exercise my rights under patient choice. So they were unable to give me any information. So at which point I tried to research it a little bit further and then contacted also my GP and also PALS as far as what my options were under patient choice. And I also put in a complaint at that particular point with PALS regarding my experience with the Bradgate unit, which was sort of like a twofold complaint really. It was a complaint regarding the poor service at the Bradgate unit, and also with the Leicester City Clinical Commissioning Group, because with those they actually prevented me and stopped me being referred elsewhere, saying that basically it was not the patient choice option was not available to me, even though I'd explained to them at that point that I had actually I had actually discharged myself from the service. So that wasn't a helpful thing either. The complaint that I put in through PALS, I received a response to that in April 2016, which is basically this complaint letter, which is a 3-page response letter, which, as far as I'm concerned, after reading it, is a complete and utter waste of 2 pages of paper and a complete and utter waste of ink. All that the response consists of is just basically, sorry, but it offers absolutely no solution whatsoever for me. No suggestions or anything like that. So, the the 3 or 4 to 5 months that it took to actually get the response to my complaints have purely and simply led me back to square one. I'm still a patient that requires the service, requires treatment, but are unable to access it for various reasons.